y'all? It's Alexiana. Welcome back to my channel. Now, in today's video, what I'm going to be doing, welcome to Vlogmas Day 2, by the way. Now, I know I've been behind on Vlogmas and whatnot, but like I had said in my other video, like I do have a job outside of YouTube, which does consume the majority of my time to the point where when I come home, I just want to relax and just be by myself and stuff like that, to the point where I don't have time to film. So I just pretty much just vlog whenever I can and whatnot. But besides all that, welcome to Vlogmas Day 2, and in today's video, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be talking about the infamous killer, Yolanda Saldivar. Insert picture here. If you don't know who that is, basically, she's well known for murdering the Tejano singer Selena Quintanilla Perez, in which I'm not going to insert a picture because you should know who Selena is by now. But yeah, pretty much what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reading some stuff about her on Wikipedia, in which I'm going to pause in between to give my honest opinion about things and all that stuff. So besides all that, let's get into the video. It says, Yolanda Saldivar, born September 19, 1960, is an American former nurse and fan club president who was convicted of the murder of Tejano singer Selena Quintanilla Perez on March 31, 1995 in Corpus Christi, Texas. Saldivar will be eligible for parole on March 30, 2025, which is not far from here. She is one of 7 children born to Frank and Juanita Saldivar. Saldivar, a former nurse, was originally a fan of country music, in which I am too. After attending one of Selena's concerts, she began repeatedly calling Selena's father, Abraham Quintanilla, about starting a fan club in San Antonio. It's at this point where I feel like, honey, you should have taken the hint and just moved on. They denied you once. They denied you twice. They probably denied you a third time, or however many times they denied you, and you still kept pressing them like, lady, take a hint. No means no. And also with the Quintanillas, with Abraham, if this lady kept calling you and calling you and calling you and calling you and calling you about starting a fan club, and she kept repeatedly calling you and asking you about it and stuff like that and pressing you about it, what you shouldn't have done, you should have called the cops and explained to them like, hey, there's this lady named Yolanda Saldivar. She's been bugging me and bugging me and bugging me about starting this fan club, and I told her no. Can you please just tell her to leave us alone? And maybe the cops probably would have called her to the police station or probably came to her residence and told them like, look, you really need to stop messing with the Quintanilla family by starting this fan club. No means no. Please leave them alone. And if you contact them again, we're going to have you arrested for harassment or something like that. And this whole thing never would have happened and Selena could have been alive up to this day. But hey, what do I know? That's just my opinion. Okay. Quintanilla eventually gave in to Saldivar's request, of course, and she immediately became the club's president. Saldivar was promoted as manager of Selena's clothing boutique, Selena, etc. By 1993, the fan club had reached 1,500 members in less than 4 years and eventually grew to over 5,000. It became one of the largest fan clubs in the San Antonio area. In early 1995, Selena's family discovered that Saldivar was embezzling money from both the fan club and boutiques, which led to her firing in the first week of March. On the morning of March 31st, Selena agreed to meet Saldivar at a Days Inn motel in Corpus Christi, to which I wish somebody would have went with her, to retrieve financial records Saldivar had been refusing to turn over. Saldivar delayed the handover again by claiming she had been assaulted in Mexico, because we can't say the R word here on YouTube. Selena drove Saldivar to a local hospital where they were told that the gynecological exam was to be done elsewhere because the assault had allegedly happened in another country. They returned to the motel where Selena once more demanded the records. Saldivar then took a .38 Taurus Model 85 revolver from her purse and pointed it at the singer. Selena tried to flee, but Saldivar shot her once in the back, severing an artery. Critically wounded, Selena ran towards the lobby for help, with Saldivar in pursuit calling her a bitch. Selena collapsed on the floor as the clerk called 911. She later died in the hospital from blood loss at 1:05 p.m. You know, this whole thing could have been avoided. In my opinion, what I feel like what should have happened, if y'all don't know what embezzlement is, I'm going to insert the definition up here. Basically, embezzlement is stealing, like basically stealing money, which is a crime, in which I really don't see why Abraham and all of them just let her go scot-free instead of doing this. What you should have done is you should have called the cops, have them meet you there at the Q Productions place, wait for Yolanda to get there, have her confess about the embezzlement and arrest her right there on the spot, and then Selena would have been alive up to this day, and this whole thing never would have happened. But I feel like the reason why they didn't take action was because, I guess they really didn't see it as a real crime, and I'm guessing none of them really thought Yolanda was that crazy. But hey, you'd be surprised. Like, just because she looked at all sweet and innocent, she talked in that little sweet, innocent, cutesy voice, does not mean that she's innocent. I mean, even people from Selena's fan club and boutiques had complained about Yolanda. Like, people that worked at Selena's boutiques were complaining how nasty of a person she was, how she used to boss them around and tell them what to do, how they made her feel uncomfortable. As a matter of fact, Selena's former designer, Martin Gomez, insert picture here, I remember there was this documentary thing that they had made about Selena in which he was talking. Of course, this was years later because they're older now. He was basically saying some stuff about how he had one of his assistants go to Yolanda's place to pick up some zippers, and when she had went there and when she came back to the place, she was so freaked out. She had said there was like wall-to-wall pictures of Selena everywhere in Yolanda's place. Like, this lady was crazy from the rip. And Martin Gomez even had told Selena about that, in which he told her that he feels like Yolanda's gonna hurt her. And like he said, how Selena had interpreted was how she's interpreting like she might hurt her reputation, but Martin was like hurt her physically. And she just brushed it off and making it seem like he worried too much and whatnot, in which, look what happened. Like, she's gone now and there's nothing that they can do. But I just feel like there were ample opportunities to save this girl, but it's just like no one just did anything about it. It says Saldivar's trial for the murder of Selena was followed closely by the Latino community in the United States. The trial was not televised, but cameras were permitted on the courthouse premises. The venue was moved to Houston, Texas, after Saldivar's lawyers successfully argued that she could not receive a fair trial in Selena's hometown. Before the start of the trial, CNN reported that prosecutors were expected to introduce a controversial police confession signed by Saldivar, in which she said she shot Selena during an argument over accusations from the singer's father that Saldivar stole money from Selena's accounts, in which you did, bitch. The defense was expected to introduce testimony from Texas Ranger Robert Garza that he overheard Saldivar claim the shooting was accidental and that she objected when police failed to include it in her statement. The defense attorney argued the shooting was accidental, but the prosecution pointed out that Saldivar, a trained nurse, did not call 911 nor try to help Selena after she was shot. Jurors deliberated for less than 3 hours on October 23, 1995, before finding Saldivar guilty of first-degree murder. 3 days later, on October 26, she was sentenced to life in prison with possibility of parole in 30 years. This is the maximum prison term allowed in Texas at the time. On November 22, 1995, she arrived at the Gatesville unit, now the Christina Milton Crane unit in Gatesville, Texas, to be processed. Saldivar is serving a life sentence at the Mountain View unit in Gatesville, operated by the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. She will become eligible for parole on March 30, 2025, which, again, is not far from here. The revolver used to kill Selena disappeared after trial. It was later found in a box of office supplies at the home of court reporter Sandra Abali, who has said she did not realize she had the weapon. Despite objections from some historical groups, it is dismantled and the pieces were thrown into Corpus Christi Bay in 2002. Saldivar has asked the Texas Court of Criminal Appeals to accept a petition that challenges her conviction. She claims the petition was filed in 2000 with the 214th District Court, but was never sent to the higher court. Her request was received on March 31, 2008, the 13th anniversary of Selena's death. Saldivar was portrayed by Lupe Ontiveros, insert picture here. Saldivar was portrayed by Lupe Ontiveros in the movie Selena, insert picture here, and by Damayanti Kenthanar in Selena's Secret, a series based on the book of the same name, and by Natasha Perez in the Netflix original series Selena the Series. So yeah, I think I'm about to end this vlog right here, and I hope y'all enjoyed that. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna link all my social media accounts in the description box down below, so feel free to add and follow me on those. Also, don't forget to turn that notification bell so you get notified every time I load a video. I would say some more stuff, but my camera phone is about to die, so bye y'all.